There is always this undercurrent of competition between Delhi and Mumbai. Residents of both cities eventually get into claims that my city is better than yours. But there is a dangerous competition on right now that Mumbai is unfortunately winning. For the last 4 days, the AQI in Mumbai has been above 300 and has been higher than Delhi today and yesterday. This morning, the AQI in Mumbai was 308 versus 259 in Delhi. Yesterday, it was 315 in Mumbai versus 263 in Delhi. The high levels of AQI in Mumbai has caused alarm bells, with the BMC chief dialing the central government, asking for the Petroleum Ministry to intervene. The BMC believes it is high emissions from refineries in the city that is spiking pollution, but experts blame rampant construction, the coastal road work, the metro work and high vehicular pollution for Mumbai's woes. Reduced wind speeds because of anti-cyclonic activity is also contributing to poor air quality because there just isn't enough breeze to dissipate the toxic air. The biggest problem, though, is the lack of attention to Mumbai's poor quality air. Perhaps it's overshadowed by the headlines from Delhi's poor AQI, but have you heard much noise about Mumbai being in such a poor state pollution-wise? Maybe it's not as bad as Delhi most of the year, but there is no doubt it is harmful. A Lancet study reported that pollution led to more than 2.3 million premature deaths in India in 2019. And the extent of damage being done to people right now is unimaginable. So what are we going to do about it? To speak on this, I'm joined today by Gufran Beg, founder, project director of Safar. Dr. Sudhir Krishna, former Secretary, Ministry of Urban Development, is joining me today. And I'm also speaking with Dr. Sarthak Rastogi, consultant pulmonologist at SL Raheja Hospital in Mumbai. Welcome to all of you, and thank you so much for speaking with us. Mr. Gufran Beg, let me begin by just getting a sense of what is actually happening with the AQI, because we see these numbers here and there. Is it the right assessment to say that we are in very poor air category right now?
Yes, you can obviously whatever you said, that now for last 2-3 days, air quality of Mumbai is worse than Delhi. And just to give you the one number by which you can understand, for the last 30 days, there are no good and satisfactory air quality days in Mumbai, whereas there were 19 in 2021. There are about 19 poor days and 4 very poor days so far, whereas last year there was only 3 poor days. So this tells you the story in general, that the air quality is really getting worse in Mumbai. Now, coming to the fact that why it is happening is, basically the weather will exploit the emission sources which you are already releasing. Mumbai is blessed by the 3-side seashore. Cleaner winds comes every 3 or 4 days. Wash away all the pollutants, it becomes clean, then emission builds up, again it goes and cleans up. That is one. Second thing, being a coastal region, winds are normally higher than any other places of the plain like Delhi and other places. So when winds are high, dispersion is very high. But both the things are affected this time. That the frequency has declined for the reversal. Every 2 weeks or 10 days now, the winds are coming from the side, otherwise it is becoming from the land only. And the most important thing which is happening is that the wind speed has declined, specifically in the early morning hours, when the pollution becomes maximum, wind speed is slow. And that is trapping the pollutants which is coming. And why it is coming, what are the pollutants, I will come back to later. Yeah.
Okay, so you know what was my big takeaway from what Mr. Beg said, and really alarming, is that in the last 30 days, there was not a single day when the air quality was acceptable or good in Mumbai city. There were 19 days like that in 2019. It's telling us how abysmal the situation is. Dr. Rastogi, I just want to get a sense of what this is doing to people, because by word of mouth, anecdotally, you hear that there are long queues outside doctors' offices, young children are suffering. What are you seeing yourself?
So there is a marginal increase, but there is a definite increase in cases of respiratory infections. People's cough is taking a longer duration to get better. And definitely there are admissions because of pneumonias and asthma attacks, which are increasing over the last couple of days.
What does this kind of AQI mean for the health of people's lungs, Dr. Rastogi?
So basically, we can divide the air pollution in this hazardous category can lead to short-term effects like respiratory infections, chronic respiratory irritations, bronchitis, asthma attacks. But we have to look into the long-term effects also, which will manifest at a later age. The children currently, their lungs will not develop properly. They will not develop to the potential that they could have developed. Apart from that, there will be an increased incidence of asthma or chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. And definitely there is data that almost 29% of lung cancer deaths are directly attributable to air pollution now. Earlier, we used to see lung cancers in chronic smokers or people who were working with carcinogens, but over the last decade, we are seeing cancers in females in younger age group, as well as people who have never been smokers. So maybe we are sitting at an epidemic in the future of lung cancer also with this kind of air quality.
So we have chances of lung cancers increasing because of this. That's the level of how air pollution is impacting us. Dr. Sudhir Krishna, I want to understand Mumbai's situation right now. Today we saw a quote from the BMC Commissioner, Mr. Chahal, saying that it is increased emissions from refineries which is causing it. Some experts believe that the fact that the coastal road work is going on right now, the metro work is going on right now, and frankly the whole city is dug up, is what is contributing to it. Do you think that the pace and planning of development is faulty somewhere, which is why we are seeing these factors increase? It might be some slow wind right now which has precipitated it, but there's no doubt that the problem is being caused by human development and activity.
It is true that industrial activities have been the bane of city like Mumbai as far as air pollution is concerned. But I think we have to handle the situation carefully because Mumbai is an industrial city. It is providing huge employment. People from all over the country flock to Mumbai for employment purposes. And therefore, we have to find solutions which do not take away the employment potential and economic status of the city. Mumbai contributes 6% of the GDP of the country, whereas its population is less than 2% of the country. It also contributes 30% of income tax revenue of the country. And 10% of the industrial employment of the country is in Mumbai. So a lot of urban planning is required, whereby we get the best of the economic potential from Mumbai, as well as reduce the negativities also. For instance,
Dr. Krishna, Dr. Krishna, that's fine, but I want to come specifically to the question of refineries, since that's at the center of this round of pollution as per the BMC. First of all, why are refineries cheek and jowl so close to residential areas in Mumbai? And who controls these emission levels? Today, we're learning that Mumbai has to dial the Union Petroleum Ministry to say, please reduce the emissions over here. How is anyone going to actually ensure the city is in good health if there is such a difficulty in communication and management of the causes of pollution? And should these refineries be in such close proximity to residential areas?
Actually, it is the other way around in most cases, including Mumbai refineries. The refineries came first and the residential complexes or residential habitats came later. So we did not control development of habitats around the refineries. And in fact, the refineries, they are required. Refineries came first, and following the refineries, people started settling down, and it was not regulated properly. So therefore, this is causing the basic problem. And what is required now, we can't shift the refineries so easily. What we can do is to relocate the people to some extent and provide them good transportation system like metro rail and so on. So people can move to farther places and still work around, in different places. So I would think that it is an unfortunate situation. And also the refineries have to take measures to reduce the pollution level, emission levels also. It is possible. It is possible to retrofit the refineries with systems that will reduce the emissions. So I think a multi-pronged strategy would help the situation.
First we have to have that kind of spotlight on the problem. Mr. Beg, one of the things that I said in my opening comments, one of the points that I made is that Mumbai's pollution sort of slips under the radar because all the attention is on what's happening in Delhi. And there is this misnomer that Mumbai is fine. But that is not the case, isn't it?
True. It is not the case. We see so far nature cleansing mechanism, we were very much, nature has given us. But the nature can take out also that. So the real problem is that emissions in the ground need to be stopped. By the way, refinery related thing, I would like to tell one thing, that whatever may be the source of this, but then because of the stagnant condition, it is staying. But I slightly differ about that this air quality is mainly becoming because of the refinery. Had it been a refinery, normally is a very finer particles which comes out that which deteriorates air quality, but it does not deteriorate the visibility. The particles which are coming from the dust, which are the construction activity, they are smaller as well as bigger particle. Both PM10 and 2.5 are going rocket. And that is the reason that I strongly doubt that it is not those finer particles because visibility is equally
So
going
what is
down.
the cause according to you, Mr. Beg?
But for me, the cause is mainly maybe most of the construction activity, as you know, that metro rail thing going on and the coastal corridor, that thing. And then I see whenever I go there that really it is a rampant and it is a regular. If it is, incremental, then what happens that the humidity is so high, it can get settled down faster. But if some things are happening in a regular, so I have a very strong feeling that since visibility as well as air quality both are going down, it is a bigger plus a small particle which can only come from sources other than industrial activity, and that is why my doubt goes to the.
Just on this point, Dr. Krishna, we need that coastal road, we need the metro, but there has to be some planning in how this construction happens. You can't choke people for all of the years that this construction will go on.
I think you are right. Construction activities have to be regulated, and it is possible to reduce dust emissions from construction areas by following certain protocols. And, the construction activities have to be regulated. There are measures, and I think the Pollution Control Board must now swing into action to enforce those regulations on the construction activities. We cannot
Exactly.
stop. We cannot stop. For example, in metro rail construction projects, the precast systems have to be brought in. You cast the viaduct portions elsewhere and then bring it and install it, so you don't create pollution at the construction site. This is the technology which is widely prevalent in rest of the world, but here in situ construction goes on. At the site only you start doing a lot of activities which spreads the pollution all over. So precast construction activities for metro rail, though it is a bit costlier in some sense because you transport pre-constructed material from some distances, but from an environmental perspective, that is a good solution because metro rail is a must, for Mumbai.
My question is, where is the Maharashtra State Pollution Control Board? Where are those bodies that are supposed to be stepping in? Where is the concern? And why is this not an issue? As citizens, we should ask ourselves if we are not concerned about the issues that matter to us. And this is definitely one of them. I hope with this program, at least some attention has come to this issue, which is literally choking us day in and day out in the maximum city. I want to wrap it here, but I want to thank all of you for joining us on the show this evening. We'll take a very short break, but don't go away. On the other side, and beyond the headlines, we have an exclusive interview with the top management of India's newest airline, Akasa Air. I had the opportunity to go on board the airline and figure out whether this new venture can survive and thrive in one of the most challenging environments for aviation in the world.